Hey, 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 fam. What's good? What's good? It's Tuesdays with Tawana. Great to be in the building one more Tuesday. I am Dr. Tad, your host and your curator for Tuesdays with Tawana, a space and place where we co create community together. We affirm who we are. We love who we are. We learn to be in community with one another. Whether we agree or disagree, we have healthy, hearty, truth telling conversations to be thought provokers, to truly think beyond what we see and what we experience so that we might live and live life more abundantly together in community. Hey Tony, what's good? What's good? I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Always good to see you. Um, I must say, today we are going to talk about confronting hurt to heal. It has been just a very tough journey for me and for others who are close in my circle, in my village, in my tribe, or even experiencing those stories of people that I don't know and I read about them or hear about them. It's just, I don't know what the hell is going on in the universe, but it is definitely one of those things when things can go wrong, they go wrong and they go sideways. So we're just going to chop it up today. And if you are here, hey, Mother Carolyn, if you are here for the first time, just, pop your comments in the chat, and we will insert, or I will, I will insert your voice into this narrative because it's just not about me just talking for the next 30 minutes, but it's really engaging community in this dialogue and in this conversation. I see you, Jan. What's good? What's good? Always good to see you. Uh, uh, Thank you, Jan. Keep on praying. Keep on praying. My shirt says, God says I am unique, chosen, forgiven, special. It's a whole bunch. Oh, and it's in the shape of a black woman. So it has all these beautiful affirming words, and it says that God says I am. So um, in this moment, um, sometimes we just need to tell ourselves and affirm to ourselves who we are and not letting other people define who we are, no matter what we have been through, no matter what we have gone through. I am still special. I am still unique. I am still chosen. I am still divine. I am still beautiful. I am still brilliant. I am still outspoken. I am still God fearing. I am still God loving. I am still people loving. I am still loving people with unconditional, positive regard, even in the midst of my hurt and my pain. Right now, I am ready to confront that hurt because I am all of those things. And I have the courage, the language, the wherewithal to confront the hurt so that I may heal. Yes, so that I may heal, excuse me. Hey, Angela. I'm trying to multitask. I'm talking and reading comments. Oh, Tanisha said, "Ooh, I needed that." Kaylin has a pillow with those affirmations, but that is dope. Yeah, yeah, I needed it today. I actually was going to wear another shirt today and talk about something different, but we're going to save that for next week. And just to give you a little taste, we're going to talk about black men. We are going to talk about black men. So I will be extending an invitation to some of the beautiful beloveds on to join us so that they can insert their voice into this narrative. With all that's going on, there is just something and some things going on in the universe that is just it's just crazy. It's crazy. So for today, first and foremost, when we talk about confronting, it doesn't always have to be confrontational. There are times when it is confrontational, and we see it in this racist society when, black people show up to an event, a restaurant, a community, and we have white racist people being confrontational because of the color of one's skin. That is an example of a confrontation. But when I confront the hurt, I acknowledge the hurt, I name the hurt, I face the hurt, and it doesn't always have to be confrontational. Sometimes we do have to go through those battles within ourselves, right? Because we're dealing with this hurt that we just can't believe that we're going through. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016, I couldn't believe it. It was this struggle of how and why and what is going on and who would have thought, and grappling and having this conversation. That's confronting, that's acknowledging, but I wasn't fighting myself. That's when the stress comes in, and when the self-doubt comes in, and when you don't believe in yourself, or you blame yourself, or there's some guilt and some shame. Those things may cause things to be confrontational, to be just mean spirited, or depriving, or dehumanizing, or not speaking life into a said situation or circumstance. Hey brother, he said he's watching while in the gym. My brother is such an inspiration. I wish I could make it to the gym like he does. He inspires me. Maybe one day he'll inspire me to actually go to the gym on a regular basis. Hey, Bobby, good to see you, my friend. Oh, so good to see you. I'm glad you made it today. So, when we are confronting the hurt, especially with the intention to heal, because last week we talked about intention and impact, right? So, my intention is to heal, and I also want the impact to be healing. I want them both to match. I don't want to have the intention to heal and then I end up even more stressed, or allowing disease to riddle my body, or to be worried and concerned and then causing my body to react in an adverse way. I want the two to balance out. Like we've talked about both and, right? We talked about either or is very white. And I say these things because there are studies that are out there. This is not just me being prejudiced. These are facts, right? So when white people want either or, because that's a sense of power and control. When we talk about white supremacy, that is a form of power and control. When we talk about racism against those who are non-white, that is a sense of power and control. So we don't want the either or. It doesn't have to be intention or impact. We're talking about intention equaling impact. So I intend to heal, I intend to stay healthy. And then what does that impact look like? So in between the two, like the dash between life and death, that dash between intention and impact, if I know that I need to eat differently, if I know that I need to stress less, if I know that I need to meditate more, if I know that I need to involve community and ask for help when I need it, when I know that I need to have a spiritual relationship with, what the spirit in me and the spirit outside of me working together in order for me to heal in ways that I can't do it alone. So I want that intention and that impact to be able to be equal on both sides. So, okay, that sounds really great, right? Yeah, I want to heal, so I'm going to work on my healing, but damn it, healing ain't easy. Confronting the hurt is not easy. Especially, we're approaching Domestic Violence Awareness Month and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm going to be having some conversations and some webinars and talking about healing and how healing ain't easy, but to trust the process. And we can do this, and really encouraging one another to make it happen. Confronting the hurt sometimes can cause one to put their job at risk. Confronting the hurt may cause someone to lose a beloved relationship that they've been in for years, whether it was, a friend, platonic friend, or a marriage or a friend, whatever. Confronting the hurt may cause some what we deem to be adverse results, but sometimes we have to lose to gain. Sometimes we have to lose the things that were taught us from white America, and how we are to respond to things, and capitalism and access to healthcare. All of that is white, and it shouldn't be. So how do we then confront the hurt? You want to be able to advocate for yourself and tell your doctor, well, no, I don't agree with that, and I don't want that form of treatment. But then there might be something inside of you that is fearful because that person has their life in your hands. We know God is the author and finisher of our faith. We know that. But in our flesh, in the physical, I still need to be under that doctor's care. And for me to go against what that doctor says can be quite scary sometimes. Or even a leader in the community, whether it's a pastor or an imam, some sort of spiritual leader who is preaching abuse or preaching misogyny and very patriarchal. And how do we then confront the hurt? Because those words can be very hurtful, using the scriptures to hurt us, using the scriptures to demean us, using the scriptures to so that their own agenda can come forth, their own agenda of power and control, as if they are God and what they say is divine, is the scripture, is what you are supposed to do. Tanisha said, Fantasia sings, sometimes you have to lose to win again. Ashe. And it's not easy, but we have to, when we trust the process, when we lose, the hope should come in that we will win, we will regain, we will be restored, we will be replenished, we will be honored, we will be have dignity. We will, all of that will come back if you feel that you have lost it in any particular way, shape, or form. Tanisha also says we have to work on dismantling what was and rebuilding as opposed to reforming that which is broken. This is in many arenas of life. Tanisha, I wrote a book, and the you know just a little PSA real quick. For those of you who are watching, you can scan the QR code. The book is I Am Not My Diagnosis, and it's about healing. It's about healing, and it is about dismantling those things that have been taught to us, the lack of access, doctors not acknowledging our pain, doctors dismissing how we feel, or judging us if we don't have private insurance and have Medicare, or we don't have insurance at all, and not wanting to see us and dehumanizing us and dismissing what is going on in our world. We have to dismantle that, and a way to dismantle that is to confront the hurt. To confront the hurt in order to heal. How do we heal? We begin to speak up and speak out and trust that my village and my community and my higher self, my the most high, is going to cover me and protect me and give me the words to say and the countenance to present, to be the strong divine person that I am. I'm not talking about the false thought of the strong black woman where I'm supposed to be strong all the time. Crying is healing. Acknowledging the hurt is healing. Confronting the hurt is healing. And Tanisha is so right. We have to dismantle systems that were not designed to work for us to begin with. They were not designed for us. Whether it's in education, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in the workplace, whether it is in communities, whether it is in just our day-to-day interactions with folk, these systems were not designed for us to live and to flourish. It was designed to keep us in a subservient level, to be less than, not to look at ourselves as not human beings. Human beings that deserve to live and not die at the hands of systemic ills, including racism, dying mind, body, and spirit, physically and figuratively. So confronting the hurt is one part of it, and with the intention to heal is the other part of it. Hi, Kendall. Good to see you. He just said Jesus. Yeah. We gotta, not got to. We have an opportunity to be able to confront these norms and these ills that work against us every day. And it ain't no fixing it. Let's be very clear. These systems aren't going to be fixed because they were designed to work against us. So we must dismantle them and rebuild systems that work for us, that work for our culture, that work for our dignity, that work for our humanity, that work for our, in business, they call, this culture, this nomenclature, right? So what does this mean? What does this look like? What are the outcomes? What are the steps in order for us to work together to build community? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What does that sound like? What does that smell like? What is it like to do those things and to create? So what do we have to do? Come together as communities. So when I am confronting the hurt, to heal, I need my community. I can't do this alone. When I was diagnosed, my village was absolutely amazing. And whether your village is hundreds of people or your village is a group of 3, it is your village. And it is so important that we are able to name what it is that is hurting us, that is causing us harm, that is depleting us, that is injuring us. And we need to be able to name it in order to then come together in community and heal and remedy it. So if creating the remedy is dismantling, let's make it happen. If creating a healing space is rebuilding, let's make it happen. If creating a space for us to live and not die at the hands of systemic ills, let us show up when we're fighting for bills and legislation and we're voting. If you vote, if you don't, then there are other ways for you to speak up and speak out. There is no reason why when we were community and then we were separated when we came here because of our power, because of our divinity, because of our beauty, because of our resilience, because of our resistance. That is scary to them. That's scary to them. But don't be mad at me because I have this divine prowess to live and not die at your hands. So confronting that hurt sometimes means, and we must do this in community, because when we don't do it in community, we end up not causing harm, because I'm not going to put the onus on the person fighting to heal. I'm going to put it on the person that's causing the harm where it should be. So when we go by ourselves, we leave ourselves in a vulnerable space. Vulnerability can work in 2 ways. We can make ourselves vulnerable to open up ourselves to community, to open up our minds and our hearts for spirit to move accordingly. Or we make ourselves vulnerable when we don't pay attention to what's going on around us, and then somebody does a fake left go right, or comes behind us, or manipulates us, or does something and we don't see it, but it's right there in front of our faces. So we must be careful and be mindful of discernment when we talk about vulnerability, when we talk about confronting the hurt, and when we talk about confronting the hurt to heal. Those are the things that we should and could and have an opportunity to keep in mind. And Tanisha said, and we have to recognize that the pain we feel while on a journey of healing is not our enemy. Tanisha, I'm going to need you to join me next week or something. But as I say, manifestation of our warrior will survive physically and emotionally. Tanisha also says, hurting to heal, losing to win. dismantling to build. That's a t-shirt. If there's anybody on this line, y'all partner with Tanisha, pay her for that statement, and give her some money from the proceeds from that t-shirt. Let me put it up again. Hurting to heal, losing to win, dismantling to build. My God, today. Kendall says, how does one accurately name it if you don't know what the thing is or simply just don't know what you need? Kendall, oh, my beautiful Dr. Nikia Robert. Kendall, you, I'm done. You just slayed me. So, there are times when we don't know what we don't know. And it's so important. This is why Sankofa is important when we look back in order to realize where we are to move forward. This is why reflection is so important. This is why when you are reflecting, you are really reflecting on the people in your life, the things that have happened in your life, the good, the not so good, and anything in between. You look at where you are. You honor the beautiful beloved that you are, Kendall. And you look at all of the things that have made you who you are today. So when you don't know what you don't know, we're going to explore. This is why community is so important. And I always talk about us journeying together. And that vulnerability comes into play because then we tell our stories. And when we share our stories, so if I share my story with another domestic violence victim or survivor, they don't feel like they're in this alone. And I am dropping prompts, dropping seeds, dropping nuggets of experience and wisdom so that I can provoke the mind to think about where they are and what is hurting them right now. What is it that, listen, I don't deserve this, or listen, I deserve this. Let's speak in positive affirmations. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be healed. I deserve to be in a healthy relationship. So speaking in affirmations, also meditating. And it's meditating causes us to really go deep within, to reflect and to think about where we are right now and how we got here and what is informing our presence right now. Is it our community? It doesn't define us, but it informs how we think, how we feel, how we move, how we show up in the world. And if it's not fruitful or beneficial, then we have acknowledged, okay, I can make a change. I have the power to make a change. I have the courage to make a change. Now, what am I changing? And asking myself those hard questions and being able to journal. Because one of the things, Kendall, is getting it out of your head, getting it out of here so this can speak louder. So your heart can speak louder than your mind, because your mind has to be fed. So if your mind is fed negativity, then it's going to then manifest in other areas of your body and your well-being. So if I think and I get it out of my head so my heart can speak, and my heart can then communicate with my mind and my gut, or for women, my womb or my center, right? I can then define those things. And when I'm in community, I can be affirmed in those areas. I can be affirmed in those moments. Um, so I hope I answered your question in this forum. And you can always hit me up. You are my beloved. You're Kendall. You're one of my first young people when I moved to Denver, and you have just been amazing. And trusting me with your journey has been such a beautiful, beautiful thing. Um, yeah. Oh, okay, Tanisha. I got you. Mother Carolyn said this conversation is laying me out today. Tanisha and Kendall. Wow. Tanisha says, "Hey, sister. This is in my dissertation research and topic on the disparities and disciplinary practices in Black and brown children as opposed to their white counterparts, a journey to dismantling the pipeline to prison." Girl, I'm here if you need any help. That right there. That right there. Carolyn said, "Great answers, Tawana. Get it out of your head so your heart can speak so that you can be affirmed." Thank you, Mother Carolyn. Thank you for affirming that. So as we close today, I want us to be able to take those deep breaths and to sit in the moment, because all we have is right now. The past is gone and the future is yet to come. But in order to see myself in the future, like Afrofuturism, I need to acknowledge where I am now, how I have become, what is informing me to ensure that I can see myself in the future. And I can embrace where I am now. I can forgive myself. I can love myself. I can rebuke guilt and shame. I can be who I be, show up as who I be, who God has made me to be, and loving myself so that I create space for other people to love me, to teach people how to love me, to teach people how to treat me. But if I don't love myself, how can I expect others to love me? So confronting the hurt to heal is confronting those things that are working against me, and removing them so that I make space so that I can heal and I can be well and I can be whole. Because if I remain bruised or broken or separated, that doesn't give me an opportunity to bring myself together into a space of wholeness, because I need all of this. I need all of this to live and survive and thrive. I need all of it, literally or figuratively. I'm not speaking from an able body standpoint. There are some who are in wheelchairs. There are some who are amputees. I'm not talking about that physical, that for those physical parts. We can still be whole. I'm talking about from here to here to here, and making that whole so that we can move forward and we can heal from the hurt, and giving us courage to confront the hurt. Now, I want to end with this disclaimer, because those who are in domestic violence, unfortunately, do not have the opportunity to confront the hurt, to confront the person that is hurting them, which is why it's so important. Every Tuesday with Tawana, I put up the domestic violence hotline, because anybody can call. Whether you're a victim, survivor, a friend, a relative, you can call that number and get information on how to do what you need to do to be safe. And unfortunately, confronting the hurt, sometimes Tanisha, you have to lose to win. You have to create a safety plan to leave. Sometimes it's leaving the state altogether. Sometimes it's changing your identity. Sometimes it's not being on social media and putting your location. So it's so many different things, and it's so complex. So this is not just a blanket statement that just works for everybody, which is why I am encouraging you to be thought provokers and let your heart speak and be informed, because we want you to be wise when you are confronting the hurt to heal. Because understanding that you might have to lose some things, but those are things that are needed to be lost, right? So that you can make room for the healing. I love you, beloveds. Pick up my book, e-copy, hard copy. I talk about I am not my diagnosis. It's for those who have been diagnosed with anything, who are caregivers, who are family members, gifted to someone. And then in October, I can't wait to unveil what is coming up in October. Oh, talk about dismantling, Tanisha. That was prophetic. Wait till you see the title of my next book. So I love you dearly. God says I am unique, chosen, beautiful, divine, amazing, loving, peaceful, graceful, courageous, dignified, all of those things. Keep reminding yourself of that. And I'll see you on next Tuesday. I'm out. Peace.